I'm about to show you the best defense in Madden 22. Now we're going to go to the nickel 3-3-5 wide formation. We've talked about it a bunch of times before, but there's a different way that a lot of people are running it right now. The main two plays we're going to be looking at is the Mike Blitz 3 and the Mike Blitz 0, but I'm going to also show you some coverage plays as well. First, I'm going to show you how to get the pressure. And up on the screen right now is all the playbooks where you can find this defensive formation. I recommend the Giants playbook or the Bears playbook. First, we're going to look at the Mike Blitz 3. I'm going to show you how to do the pressure setup out of this. And really quickly, before we get into the play, I do want to let you know that I have started my Patreon page officially, where I'm going to be dropping a ton of extra tips, schemes, breakdowns, and everything to take your Madden game to the next level. Link is below. I've got a few things on there now, but I'm going to be posting a bunch more tonight and tomorrow. Tons of extra weekly content, tons of weekly tips. Everything you need to become a better Madden player is going to be posted on that page. Now let's check out the easy setup for this. Now what I want to show you is how to bring the pressure first, and then I'm going to show you how to mix in coverages. Now the way you're going to bring pressure out of the Mike Blitz 3 is you want to first crash your defensive line down by pressing left on the D-pad and then down on the right stick, so it's going to look like this. Then you want to QB contain, which is the RB or R1 button, and then you're going to press that same button again. Now you're going to have your outside linebackers on contains. Then you want to pinch your linebackers, which is right on the D-pad and then down on the left stick, and that's basically it. The only other thing you need to do is you want to stand opposite side the running back. So the running back's on the left, which means we want to get on the right side of the center. And notice above my linebacker's head, the two green bars, that means the defensive line, or excuse me, the offensive line is looking at him as a pass rusher. You can see if we move back a little bit, then it disappears. So you want to make sure that you're close enough to where the offensive line is looking at you as a pass rusher. And this is how the pressure should come in, just like that off of the edge. Super easy, super simple. Now you'll notice here on the replay, we're only actually rushing 5 rushers versus 5 blockers, and we're getting a guy in free off the edge. Now, there are some things you could potentially quick pass here, but you've got to also keep in mind, you can't really get off a clean pass until your drop back is done, and that's happening right now. The drop back is just now getting done, so even if you try to get a pass off, there's a good chance you get it inaccurate or you get hit as you're throwing it. But also you have to keep in mind that most opponents you're going to go against, they get kind of tunnel vision, see deer in headlights, and a lot of times they take the sack even when things are open. But that's why coverage is going to be important. Now, what if they block the running back? Well, I'm going to show you. The same setup is going to work even versus a block running back, but typically the guy on the running back side is going to loop around. And you'll see just right there, you see Jason Pierre-Paul, and the running back completely ignores him. Now again, yes, there are some things open, but that's the nature of blitzing. You can't blitz and blanket the whole field. That's where coverage is going to come into play. Now, I want you to watch Jason Pierre-Paul on the left. This is what happens when the running back blocks. It's kind of glitchy. He's going to ignore them, and that's why most people are running this in the game right now. Now, if you had a really good opponent, he might hit this drag underneath, but we could also user that with Levante David. You'll notice that when we run this blitz, I'm going to show you what happens here with our user Levante David. So we kind of let him step forward right at the snap of the ball, and then we jump back like this. So we can bait things over the middle of the field, and that's another thing you want to understand is you might give up that drag 1 or 2 plays when you run this blitz, but the next time you're going to try to bait it. So watch it again. Watch how we come down, we're going to run up, and then we're going to just jump to the drag at the last second. So if our opponent thinks that's open, we can snatch it for a pick. Now you can also do this with the Mike Blitz 0, which is the man version of the play, which is going to give you a little bit better coverage because everybody's going to be accounted for. The setup's the same. You're going to crash the D-line down, you're going to contain, and you're going to pinch your linebackers and then just stand in the opposite gap. It's very easy and a quick setup, and that's why a lot of people like this defense. And again, you're going to see right off the edge, we've got them coming, nothing was wide open, and we're lurking over the middle with our user. Now, the big key with this is you don't want to run the blitz every single time because you are going to leave a lot of area of the field open. But with this game, defense is pretty hard to play because zones don't play very well. So you need to be able to bring pressure or else you're going to be in trouble. But you do want to mix in coverage more so and then catch them off guard with the pressure. So what you're going to do with this play here, the Mike Blitz 3, is when you're actually in game, you're going to set your zone drops. You're going to set your cloud flats to go to about 25 to 30 yards, and then you're going to set your curl flats to go anywhere from 0 to 10 yards. It kind of just depends on your opponent. If he's hitting the flats super aggressively, you might want to put him on 0. If he's hitting them a little bit further up the field, you might want to go 5 to 10 yards. It's kind of something you have to play around with, but what it's going to look like when you do that is you're going to come out in this play. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to shade your defense down, which is wire triangle down on the right stick. Now that's going to put those curl flats into hard flats, but what they're going to do is they're going to drop 25 to 30 yards back, which means they're going to take away corner routes or deep crossers on the sideline. Then you're going to get on your outside linebacker on the left, put him into a curl flat, which you do by pressing A or X, and then right on the left stick. Then you want to hit the B or circle button twice really quickly, because then it puts you right here on the other guy that you need. Do the same thing, put him in a curl flat, and then you just crash your defensive line down, but you still want to stand right here, make it look like you're blitzing. But what this setup's going to do for you in game is you're creating a double Mabel, which means the sidelines for corner routes and crossers are going to be taken away by your light blue zones, and then your purple zones are going to take away the running back or the tight end that's running to the flat potentially. And then you do have some area over the middle to cover yourself, of course, and that can be difficult at times, but you need to kind of bait around, and you can see we're just taking stuff away, and then eventually the pass rush will get home. Now in game, that coverage is going to look better because your zone drops are going to be set. Here in practice mode, you can't set your zone drops, so they're kind of dropping to the same spot, but in game they're going to actually drop further back. Now, you can also do the same thing with the man version of the play when you want to mix in coverage. You go to the outside linebackers and, again, kind of put them in curl flats. So you're going to take away kind of that intermediate area on the sideline, maybe put them at about 10 yards if you want to run the man version. So that means they're going to drop back to about right in this area here. So if you've got anything kind of shallow crossing or anything in the flat, they can rally down to that and defend that, but you have everybody manned up. Just keep in mind you want to shade your defense up by pressing wire triangle up on the right stick when you run this, because you don't want any of those outside guys to kind of just streak past your cornerbacks and get wide open. And again, you can see we're just kind of running over the field trying to make sure everything is immediately covered, and then eventually the pass rush will get home. But the blitz is really where you make your money, because if you get them in a third and medium, third and long, that's when you want to pull out the blitz, because okay, you've been dropping 8 guys back, 7 guys back every play. They're expecting coverage, they're sending everybody out, and then when you do get the heat, it comes so quick off of the edge that there's really nothing they can actually do about it. There's no way to quickly react to this if you're not expecting it. Yes, a really good player might react to it, but most of the people that you'll run into online will not be able to react that quickly, especially when they're expecting coverage and you're just screaming off the edge as the Seahawks here just trying to recover the fumble and get crazy. But you see what I'm talking about. Again, we'll go to the man version, do the same setup. It's really nice that you can do the same blitz out of both looks, and even again with the running back blocking, which is what most people will try to go to, you're gonna have that guy coming off the edge, and that's even better because now you've caused them to take away another receiving threat by keeping him in the block, but you're still coming off the edge free. Now, another coverage style defense that you want to mix in with this is the cover 4 show 2, because this one right here does a really good job at shutting people down. You might want to base align your defense just to make sure you're given the same look with this guy lined up more inside. You can base align by pressing wire triangle and then right on the left stick. You can leave him out here if you want to. I mean, it's up to you, but to give it the same look, you kind of want him to come in tight. And basically with this, you can kind of do whatever you want, right? You can do what I like to do. If it's like a long yardage situation, I might shade down, which is wire triangle down on the right stick, and that's going to have these flats. Remember, we have them 25 to 30 yards when we're playing in game, so they're going to be able to take away the corner routes. We got 4 deep zones, so it's going to be hard to get over top, and then we're just kind of covering the shallow middle of the field. And yes, we may have some things open, but if it's a long yardage situation, we're just not trying to let them get anything deep to the sideline. If they want to throw something short middle, we'll give them that, and that's going to be fine. Or you could come out in this and you can leave the purple zones on the field and have them just defending the hard flats. And then you also have this guy here who's a wild card, where you can put him in a spy. Maybe if you're dealing with a fast QB, you can drop him into a hook zone right here if you need extra help over the middle. And again, you're playing that cat and mouse of what is he doing? What is he running? Is he running coverage? Is he blitzing? Do I need to leave extra people in the block? But you could see, I mean, there's pretty good coverage all over the field, and that's about as good as you're going to get in Madden 22. Another thing that's really sneaky to mix in is going to be Tampa 2, but you have to make sure, again, with your zone drops, you want your light blue zone set to 25 to 30 yards, because if you don't, you will get absolutely destroyed on the sideline. If you run cover 2, you will give up huge gains. But in game, if you have your zone drops, these guys are going to drop so far back, and most people are not going to be expecting cover 2, because not a lot of people outside of maybe really good players are actually going to cover 2, because most people think cover 2 is completely broken, which it is, but if you use your zone drops, it actually plays very, very well. So you'll have these guys dropping really far back, and then you can kind of do the same thing as we showed before. If you want to double Mabel, you can put your outside guys into these curl flats. So basically, both sides of the field are completely taken away on the sideline. You have this guy here in a vert hook over the middle, and then you're over the middle, but you're doing it out of a cover 2 shell, so it's a little bit different different of a look, and it's going to confuse people. Now, I mean, if they want to try to check it down, if they want to pick up a few yards, you give them 2, 3, 4 yards. You don't want to give up big plays, and when they least expect it, again, that's when you're pulling out the blitz. You can even just run the cover 2 stock if you want. Something that's nice is you can take this outside guy, put him into a spy, and then you, of course, get in this same area because you want to give it that same look that, hey, maybe you're blitzing, maybe you're not, and then you can just drop over the deep middle like this, and if they try to throw that drag, you have that spy that's right there that's going to make them hesitate, and then they're going to wait too long, and then it's going to be not as good of a gain. So you can really get creative with this formation, but the thing that makes it is the fact that you can bring that fast pressure off the edge, but you have all these different coverages that you can mix up and really try to trick people, and they'll never know, is the heat coming, is the heat not coming, and it's probably going to be your best bet for getting stops in Madden 22. Again, make sure to check out my Patreon. The link is below in the pinned comment. Got a ton of extra weekly content coming. There's already a few things on there right now. Hope you enjoy it, and I will see you guys next time.